Welcome back everyone. In today's video, we'll be taking a look at the Vintage Collection Mainline Deluxe Krrsantan and comparing it to the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive version. So I'm very happy to have Krrsantan in the Vintage Collection. He is a fan favorite character, no doubt. And he's absolutely essential to recreating a number of scenes in our collection. So very happy to have him. Cool that we're getting like a little variety here. Clearly, at first glance, the main difference with these characters is the head sculpt. We've got the very angry, roaring face on the right, and then on the left for the mainline deluxe release, he's definitely got a bit of an angry stare, but it's not quite as angry as the other one. Still very like representative of his bad attitude, if you will. But with that being said, there is definitely a price difference here. So I personally have a favorite out of these two, and let's take a closer look at them and which one of these I'll be picking up extras for my collection. Taking a quick look at the packaging, here we have our standard Vintage Collection Deluxe box that we are very familiar with these days. We have a nice image of Krrsantan set up in a toy photography setting on the sandy streets of Tatooine. And then we have a nice sunburst image of him with his electrified knuckle dusters, and he just looks like a boxing poster right there. So pretty cool. Kenner logo just below that, and just all in all, a pretty decent box. On the side, we have an image of him with his little beer drinking mug. The other side, a picture of him eating the Melu run. And then on the back, the same image as the front, except we have a nice little close-up here of him and everything that comes in this set. So, pretty good stuff. Standard deluxe box for the Vintage Collection. And taking a look at this Deluxe Krrsantan out of the package, he looks very, very similar, if not absolutely identical to the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive release. Here you can see that I put one of the punching fists on and have him kind of in a wind up. He's about to slug someone at the cantina pose. Taking a quick look at his face sculpt, it looks pretty good, It's a nice angry face. He looks like he's got a lot of bottled up anger and probably should seek therapy or, have a nice relaxing day on a beach somewhere instead of roaming Tatooine full of scum and villainy. But yeah, I gotta say, I've always been a fan of this sculpt ever since it came out. And you can check out my review of the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive version. I also have a posing video putting him in a lot of different poses because, this is, regardless, a fantastic figure with the new style barbell hips. It's got ball jointed everything, rocker ankles, This is a soft plastic, so it doesn't really hinder his movement of his arms. He's got all sorts of ball joints up here. He's got a hinge at the wrist that's a little funny. You kind of got to take out the hand a little bit off the peg for it to like work the hinge, but it didn't bother me too much in my review. The only thing is, this one doesn't have as much of a head rotation either when it comes to, kind of like moving his head around. And that's because of the sculpting of, the fur that kind of just drapes down over his chest and back. But there's not too much you can do about that. Soft plastic here, so you still can get some pretty good movement out of it. But yeah, it's got a lot of different articulation that will just help him pose and just look fantastic in your setup and collection. So taking a quick look at both of the Krrsantans and the details in terms of the paint applications, they're pretty much the same figure in my opinion. Both look like they have an okay amount of weathering on their like armor and like their shoulder pads, so it doesn't look like anything's too different there. And for the most part, it looks to be the same gold plastic color. So all in all, that looks pretty similar in terms of like the light colors of highlights on his fur. They pretty much look the same. So yeah, very, very similar. Doesn't look like any of the plastic used is any different in terms of like the color that's mixed in or anything. Let's take a look at that like little fur thing that hangs from his belt. That looks pretty much the same as well. And taking a look at the rifles also look extremely similar. So yeah, I don't think there's much going on in terms of differences there. Of course, they're the same figure, so they have all the same articulation as well. If you take a closer look at the face sculpt, you can see, this one's got the angry face, roaring, and then we've got the kind of more just like mean mug going on. Take a look at the back. Pretty much the same thing going on. So not much in terms of differences there. So it's kind of really up to you, what do you really want? Do you want the very angry one? Do you want both of these? Are you okay with just the mainline release, of him kind of giving you that dirty stare? Kind of up to you. there's definitely a price point difference here, you know. The San Diego Comic-Con version is $10 more, so is it worth it for you to spend that $10 to get the angry face and the additional accessories? So that's the next thing that we need to take a look at. What do these figures kind of come with? So taking a look at these two releases and comparing the amount of accessories they come with, it is pretty clearly evident that the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Krrsantan comes with a lot more in terms of like your bang for your buck. You get the angry face, you get the blades, swords that he uses in his gladiator arena, you get the Wookiee crossbow, you get the standard rifle that we see with him in the Book of Boba Fett. You get this also rifle type of baton electrified weapon that we see in the comics. You know, that's great. You also get the mug and the Melu run, which come with the other one. And then you get the same hands, closed fist, and a much wider open grip, the electricity for his knuckle dusters. And yeah, this one just like packs a lot of punch. So it's definitely, you know, cool that we're seeing this one at mainline release. You know, there's nice that there's a little difference here, but I think it still would have been cool if maybe they did something else to, you know, give that mainline release a little bit more of like personality. Because right now it's pretty much the same figure, but not quite as good with a different face. And like, it's not a bad face, but I feel like most fans are going to go for the angry one. That's just like, you know, part of Krrsantan's nature. He's an angry Wookiee. He's very aggressive. So which one are you going to want? Probably the angry roaring one. I personally, this is my favorite one of the bunch. If I'm getting extras for my collection and putting around my dioramas and displays, I'm definitely going with this one. Yes, it is $10 more, and these deluxe figures are already a little bit pricey, but if I'm going to be paying a deluxe price, I'm going to just go for, you know, the one with the accessories. That's something I want. These are world building things. I can put extra mugs around my town. I can use these weapons for different displays of my Krrsantans. So that's just my personal opinion on this. Something they could have done to maybe make these a little better. I don't know. I feel like this Krrsantan needs something different. It's cool that he comes with the same hands, and I guess it's good to get that out of main release. I can't think of many other things that would have been cool to release with him. Or like maybe if he didn't come with, you know, another set of hands, but instead he came with like a ripped off Trandoshan arm or something like that, or a head. I think that would have been pretty cool, and that probably would have gave that mainline deluxe figure a little bit more pizzazz, because I don't know, he's just like, I got him in the mail and I was like, okay, cool, I got that Krrsantan. He's not as exciting. I already got the really exciting one. So that's just my personal opinion on it, but definitely feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I think something else Hasbro could have maybe considered is putting the mainline, you know, non-San Diego Comic-Con exclusive version of Krrsantan on a card. He's definitely a character that a lot of us would love to have displayed on our walls. He's, you know, a fan favorite for many years, and yeah, that could have been an option. I know these deluxe figures are supposed to be a little bigger, so they always say that, you know, they have trouble putting them on a card, but I don't know. I kind of feel like he could maybe fit on a card. And that would have been a nice way to, you know, get a carded version of this character out there with that head sculpt. It maybe could have been a little less, you know, of a higher price point. And then maybe I would have even bought a second one just for the head, you know, so I could have some variety for my display, but also have a carded sample of this character. But I don't know, here we have two deluxe versions, so the decision is yours at the end of the day as to which one of these you want to pick up. If you want to spend a little bit more money and get the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive version, I don't think that would be all that bad of an idea. I hope you've enjoyed this video and taking a quick look in comparison at the two Vintage Collection Deluxe style offerings for Krrsantan. Feel free to leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. And don't forget to drop a like on this video and subscribe if you're new to the channel. It really helps and is always greatly appreciated. Thanks everyone, and may the Force be with you.